I think so. I don't know. I don't know how many banks they'd actually rob. They're a little silly. They might mess up the first robbery and go to jail together, but they would do a great job at making all the hostages laugh. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and I suppose Trey, we're going to go right back to the beginning now. And how did this opportunity land on your doorstep? Is there a good story behind it?
Yeah, it's one of the lucky stories, man. I got an audition that turned into two auditions, and then I ended up getting called to do a chemistry read with Seth, which was like the most nerve-wracking, scary experience of my life because I'm such a huge fan of all his work prior. So to know we did a Zoom much like this, and we're gonna see if we had chemistry was crazy, but it worked out, luckily, and I ended up getting the part, and it was the greatest thing ever.
And you mentioned that in terms of how was Andy sort of pitched to you in terms of reading, or what had you to go on in terms of description or lines, or was it very much left to yourself to improvise and with your creation and develop this character along the way, or they had the original storyline for him?
So funny enough, Andy originally was Reggie, who's another character in the show. So I originally read for the part of Reggie, who was Seth's brother-in-law. And there wasn't really much notes. So I really kind of went for it. I generally do that in my auditions. I just give it my best go and see if they like it. Luckily, they were okay with my rendition of it, and they allowed me to improv a little bit more as auditions went forward. But eventually, they switched the characters completely. And then I got a call saying, now you're going to be Andy, read this way. And it ended up working out because Andy originally was his brother-in-law, but he's always kind of been the practical voice of reason in Will's life. So they ended up switching it to where Andy became that voice and Reggie turned into the insane person that he is on the show. He's hilarious, played by Andrew Lopez. So yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose, Trey, in terms of this project, obviously Seth Rogen was heavily attached. Did you know when you're auditioning it for that Rose Byrne would be attached to it as well? And were you one of the last to come on board in terms of the project or in terms of the established cast? Because I know I was looking here, Seth, Rose, Carla, they've all worked together in the past
Sure.
in terms of different sort of projects. So was this a new beginnings for you? Had you ever worked with any of the main cast previously?
Yeah, no, I hadn't actually. I was one of the new guys, if you will, because it definitely did feel very family and friendly amongst the majority of the cast and our creators, Nick Stoller and Francesca Del Banco, who are, they wrote and directed Neighbors. So it was very, very cool to join them. Very intimidating at first because you want to make a good impression on people that already know each other. But they were all so welcoming, and I was very, very happy to be there.
Yeah, and I suppose Trey, when it starts to show is obviously we know it's centered very much on Rose and set characters, but for the other established characters within the sort of series as well to make a voice, to make an experience for themselves, is it when you have two so really powerful actors, dare I say, and two powerful sort of presence. Is it hard sometimes to establish your own sort of a character within a sort of series when you have two characters that I say that are so powerful in terms of this TV series as which Rose and Seth's characters are?
Sure. I mean, I actually view it like a blessing to have two actors that are as powerful as that because they help you out. They help you elevate with their performance. And when you're doing a show like Platonic that does give us the leeway to improv a little bit and dance around the lines and find what works, it's great to have two leaders that know how to keep it going and know how to keep up and know how to make your performance better with the lines that they feed you. So it was a blessing working with the two of them and learning from watching them work because, as you said, they are two so powerful actors and they are so good together. Their quickness when they improv, or even when they just say their lines that are written, it's incredible. So we all got better from being around them, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I suppose Trey, in terms of Seth and Rose's sort of chemistry, the sort of gags that most actors would sort of find humorous to try and keep a straight face in terms of they seem to come off to a straight degree. It doesn't sort of phase or affect them. But in between sort of takes when you're witnessing some of the crazy antics that they get up to, is it? And I know you're very much a talented actor, a phase actor in terms of comedic dice. Is it hard for you to sometimes to recognize that how they can all keep it all together?
Oh man, I mean, it's hard for me to keep it together. It's hard for all of us to keep it together when you're around them because they are so funny. And I know I struggled with that a lot in the first season with both of them, Seth in particular, because I had grown up watching so many of his comedies and all the things that he did. So when you get on set and you get in a camera from him and we're doing the scene and I'm supposed to be Andy and he's obviously Will, I would lose myself at times because I was Trey, the fan, watching Seth Rogen do his bits right in front of me. And yeah, there are some scenes that could have been a lot better if I didn't break. And unfortunately, I did break. But I got better with that as time went on. I think all of us did. And then it kind of just becomes second nature. But when you're so funny, it happens, man. It happens to everybody.
And I suppose when a show is sort of so witty and got so many punchlines, and so many really good on cue one-liners, and as a successful season one, there always the premises is how can you bring it back? How can you make it more spicy, more content, more original? How can you really up the game? Because we all know with TV series, if you stagnate at all, it's the chopping block, dare I say.
Sure.
You always have to up your game season upon season when you're dealing with TV networks in terms of viewership and sort of so many powerful series that had to really smash it sort of season one and they think to themselves, well, I'm going to be here now for another 2 or 3 seasons and maybe they get a season two and oh God, dare I say, the dream is over, dare I say. But how can a show like that elevate, dare I say, going into a season two?
Well, I mean, all credit there goes to our incredible writers and our producer, showrunners, Nick Stoller, Francesca, Connor Welch. They are the storytellers, realistically, and Seth and Rose as well. They're executive producers on the show, so they come together and they just up the ante. It's just what they have to do. It makes it much easier, I imagine, when you know you have two stars like Seth and Rose that can take whatever writing you have and just elevate it that much more with their performance. But you give it your best go. And I can say from the few episodes I've seen of this next season, they certainly have upped the ante. They found more chaos, more hilarity. I'm very, very excited for everybody to see it. We were just at the premiere 2 days ago, and it was everybody was dying in the theater while we were watching these antics that they're getting up to in just the first 2 episodes. So I can only imagine how watching a whole 10 is going to go.
Yeah, and I suppose Trey, in terms of your own character, tell us about his own sort of journey so far in Platonic, and tell what maybe may, without giving too much away, what might or may not lay in store for him.
Sure. Well, like I said, Andy is what feels to be the more practical one of the friend group. He's the realist and the voice of reason for Will to hear when he's getting opinions from a very insane Reggie and completely out of there Omar. So it's been nice to be that kind of grounded character. In the first season, I ended getting married. I can't give too much away, but second season is an interesting turn for Andy, and he's discovering himself in his marriage, I guess, and being a friend to Will as his life with Sylvia keeps going on and getting crazier and crazier, and all the while he navigates his new relationship.
And on set, in terms of Platonic, in terms of the turnaround between episodes, are you very much regiment that you do one episode at a time, or do you block shoot certain sort of sequences, maybe for 1 to 2 episodes, or is very much we arrive in on the Monday, we do the scripts are produced, we do the table read, dare I say, and whatever writers, dress rehearsal, whatever writers changes are made, and maybe then come back again, subtle changes, and then final sort of shoot rapid and then go on to the next one, or is there a bit of block shooting between 1 to 2 episodes, or is every episode a standalone episode? Dare I say?
Sure. I know that would certainly probably be the dream of most actors to be able to shoot things in order, but that's just not the way it works for the most part with scheduling and location. So we block shot Platonic. So it was a bit all over the place. My schedule was interesting because I was in a few episodes and then we would work one block and then I would have kind of a big gap in time between when I would come back. Um, but yeah, it's always been a very quick turnaround. I think it's awesome to watch, Stoller and the producers and Seth and Rose work because it's so lived in. Their friendship and their understanding and chemistry of one another has been tested over so many years now that they know what they want and they know how to get it fairly quickly. So, in my experience, I would say Platonic is one of the quickest shot shows I've ever worked on. We get it done pretty quickly, which is awesome for scheduling and for the ability to do other things and for being around family and stuff like that, which is important to me.
You mentioned sort of block shooting there. I always wonder as an actor, there's always sense when you're block shooting certain sequences and there might be sort of different episodes, dare I say. Do you always get a sense to yourself, well, I wonder what the overlying arc is in terms of this sort of story, and then you see it back, oh, it went that way, or I didn't think it might go that
Sure.
way, or do you have an original idea when you're block shooting, what the actual the episode itself will look like?
Sure. I mean, we're fortunate that for the most part we get all the scripts ahead of time, so you have a general idea of where the story is going. Obviously, things always change on the day, and pivots are made, and writing is changed. But we have a general sense. It's always a little weird when you block shoot because it's nice to have performed the scene in order, so you do kind of know the emotional stake and where your character's going. But ultimately that's just a part of the game. You get used to it. You learn how to put yourself there. And when you're fortunate enough to work with, like-minded actors that are amazing, like Seth and Rose, like I said, they kind of lead the way, and we just we follow.
And I suppose Trey, as an established star of the series, what's it like in terms of being on set, in terms of wondering what sort of day players might turn up, what sort of guest actors turn up, and is it always Seth and Rose that greet him, or do yourself and Luke and Carla greet him as well? And is that almost a fun dynamic when you're on screen shooting and maybe you might recognize a familiar face walk in maybe for a standalone episode or that you might have known or thought about and say, "Oh, he's going to be on our show
Yeah.
for today."
Yeah, it's very fun when that happens. It's also Platonic is one of those sets that it's just so fun to be there in general. Everybody is so cool, and we have such a good time making what we make. It's always a dream going to set, and then when you get the occasional cool guest actor. The first season we had Ten McGidley, who was incredible, and in this season I could give it away because he's in the trailer, but Beck Bennett was a part of an episode, so getting able to meet him and even chop it up with him a little bit at the premiere was really really cool because I am a huge fan. So when you hear they're like, "Oh, he's going to be here today," it's always nice to hear. And if you are lucky enough to share a scene with said person or be there and you can watch, that's always awesome.
Yeah. And Trey, before we came on air, you mentioned we were just having a quick chit chat, and you mentioned it's a busy time for you in terms of other projects in the pipeline. You might lighten our audience where we might be seeing Tre Hale on our TV screens, streaming platforms, cinemas in the near future.
Yeah, so I have a film that'll be released here in the coming months called Song of the Bigfoot that I'm very very happy for. It's an independent film that I led that we shot last year, 3 months in Oregon in the woods, doing crazy crazy stuff in search for Sasquatch, which was a dream. And then I also just wrapped a new show that'll be on Netflix next year called Nemesis. It's Courtney Kemp's new crime drama. Very, very excited about it. It's in the vein of Heat. It's a completely different undertaking for me as a character. It is hardcore action drama,
Bit of
cops and
Miami
robbers.
Vice.
Yeah, you could say a little bit of that. It's been a real dream to be able to be on set and do that, I will say. And I'm very, very excited for the world to not only see me in that light, but also just see the product that we made because we're very, very proud of it. So I've been very, very blessed.
Yeah. And Tre Hale, before I let you go, you might enlighten all our audience why they should tune in en masse on August the 6th, which is next Wednesday, for the premiere here in Ireland of season 2 of Platonic. And when they do, sir, what's in store for them?
Man, let me tell you, you should tune in because it's just good TV. It's fun, it's sweet, it's full of heart, and I argue it's everything the world needs right now. And when you do watch it, prepare yourself for a wild, chaotic, hilarious ride. You're going to know exactly what you're getting and you're going to love it. You get to watch two of the best go toe to toe, and a sprinkle of other people that are absolutely incredible. So I'm so happy to be a part of Platonic, and I hope the world enjoys.